first chart to talk about, as you can see in front of you, this is the gold weekly profile. Now, the reason I've got this up is to show you the inside week for one. Okay, you can see how firmly stuck we are inside the range set back in late February. So we are really in a sideways range. Now, what that means is not necessarily that a market can't move, okay? It just means that the market first needs to collect positions. In other words, when a market enters sideways mode, it rarely has to collect a whole bunch of positions before it can move one way or the other. Okay, why? Because the definition of a sideways market is a market that is balanced, okay? It's balanced between two pivots, which means the resistance is clearly defined and the support is clearly defined. Okay, now in order for participants to initiate in the middle of a range requires positions to be accumulated somewhere. Okay, so let me repeat that. When markets are balanced, in order for us to move, in order for big time frame players to initiate, either we have to get some form of fundamentals or we have to get some positioning taking place. Okay, and we can see a little bit of that positioning. I just want to move over into the gold. We can see that we got a little bit of that positioning yesterday around the 1325s. Nice pronounced value area, sold off in the afternoon. Okay, today again sold off, but again it's built that positioning in and around where it built it yesterday. So there really are some longs accumulating a position now from the 1322s up to the current high of 1325. So there's some nice longs in the market now, and they keep defending these positions. Okay, we can see not just once, not just twice, but the last 3 days in a row we've had very, very strong reversals in the gold market, with today's tail being very, very pronounced. Okay, now as you can see on screen, outside day. Alright, so gold has set the tone. Not only do we have value being accepted all the way at the high of the day, not only do we have a very strong buying tail, not only do we have an outside day, we've got so technically, guys, what I'm trying to say to you is this gold is as bullish technically as it can be. Now, what that means is actually quite juicy. It's quite tasty. Okay, what it means, and this is the first thing I'll do when this instance happens, I'll go down and I'll set a big fat blue line there, because what that says to me is that if that gold market over the course of the next day or two or couple of days, if we take out today's low, it's very, very vulnerable to the downside. Okay, why? Because I know the technical landscape now is sucking in more and more long participants. Okay, now that's the first thing. The second thing is that I want to be going with the flow. I want to be going with the trend. And right now, the prevailing short-term trend, because of the tail, because of the outside day, because of the higher value area, is suggesting prices are likely to rise in the next couple of hours or the next session. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Now, what I will say, I'm going to show you one interesting chart that will again just give you an idea as to what we potentially could see. And that's it. Okay, it's the daily gold. We can see those tails being clearly defined. We can see the 20-day moving averages offered resistance last week. If that goes, i.e. if that 1330 level goes, don't be surprised to see that gold very quickly trade back up to 1340s. Okay, so with that in mind, guys, you've got a good $12, $13 of upside potential, not just tonight, but over the course of today and tomorrow. Keep an eye on that gold. Lean on that dollar for potential information.